Hello, Astrolevin here for TalkFringe. I'm here with Kiruna, and I don't know your last name, but I do know your last name. This is Gareth Berliner and Kiruna Stammel, who are both over from the UK to perform at the Adelaide Fringe for the first time.
I'm born in Sydney.
Oh, you're an Australian?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
People
that.
don't realise that. That's why I had to leap in and say. No, I'm born in Sydney. I've just fallen in love with an Englishman.
With an Englishman?
Yeah.
Love at the Fringe. Yeah. I met my wife at the Fringe. It's a great place to meet people. So if you're lonely and you want to meet someone, just come to the Fringe. There's heaps of people. They're everywhere. And they're all just hanging out.
Trying to pull last night.
Everyone. You get your coat. No, it's too hot. Doesn't make any sense. So you're both doing solo shows here at the Fringe. Kiruna, what's your show about?
My show is called Why Dwarfs Hate Christmas. And I pretty much just get to vent in a really amusing fashion about my life and personal experience. Because I think although I can't claim to speak for all dwarves, I do anyway.
And I have lots of, like, I'm a carny, so I've got lots of friends. A good friend of mine, Iman, is not a dwarf. He's a tiny person.
Oh, you're going to get confused about
it gets confusing. Okay, like dwarf. Is midget not PC? You can't say that.
I'm going to explain because it's really confused, right?
This is necessary.
I'm going to give it to you in a soundbite if I can. Midget is actually quite offensive because historically it's been associated with dwarves put on display for public ridicule and sport. Whereas, and there was a myth that it was about people who were proportionate. That's actually not the case. It was a bogus medical term for anybody under 4'9" who didn't look particularly disfigured, because there's over 200 types of dwarfism medically, like 200 different causes, and some of them come with more kind of, I guess, exaggerated disproportion, whereas others can be proportionate. But midget was a bogus medical term that was coined for anyone who didn't look particularly grotesque. So that's kind of where it came from and why it's considered offensive. Anyone under 4'9" technically is a dwarf and has dwarfism.
Kylie comes close.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue comes close.
Kylie Minogue, almost a dwarf.
Almost a dwarf.
But not yet.
You know what? That'd be a great name for her album. Yeah.
As she recedes in older age, because you do shrink a bit as you get older, so she could just sneak under the you're too tall to ride this and dwarf it up for her final. And so your show is about being a dwarf and all the kind of...
It's about the social misconceptions
people are annoying, aren't
stuff. Well, yeah. No, people are thick.
Yeah.
So I've kind of made an amusing, anecdotal performance, stand-up comedy piece, which is me kind of addressing a lot of the social misconceptions and nipping them in the bud. I mean, sometimes I actually go into them and flesh out like surreal little stories and get amusement out of that. But mostly it's me kind of, being a bit angry. And do you want to know why I'm angry?
I want to know why you're angry.
All dwarves are angry.
Furious, the fury of the dwarf. Be careful, ye out there, lest you incur the wrath. Mr. Berliner, Gareth, you are from the UK, and you're out here doing your first Fringe show. What are you doing this year?
This is my second Fringe show, second Fringe at the Adelaide Fringe, which is my favourite Fringe festival. I'm doing Gareth Berliner, An Inch of Integrity. It's not remotely as political as Kiruna's. Mine's really about how she's the most normal woman I've ever been with compared to some of the very strange women I've collected over the years.
He had terrible taste.
Really
they
bad.
all looked like from the outside. Like,
but on the inside.
Oh gosh, he went out with some very confused, unhappy, bitter people.
So it's sort of like basically an hour of counselling, just venting, just getting it out. There seems to be a kind of a theme in kind here.
It's massive therapy for me, and also it's dealing with the German lesbian that took advantage of me once, and that's a story and a half.
That is why the Fringe is here. It would be a less colourful Fringe, a more bland Fringe, if there was not one or possibly three shows about a pushy German lesbian who potentially took advantage of you.
He's got competition.
Oh, there's potential for it. There's probably a contemporary dance show about it.
I kind of feel like I should pay my audience for the counselling session, something like that.
Do you know what's going to be interesting is my parents are in his show tonight.
Yeah, which means they hear about the first time I did certain things that I wouldn't be proud of them knowing.
That is always... I've been in that situation before. That is a massively awkward situation to be in. Let's just hope you get a smile and a polite handshake at the end. Thanks
stand
very much
by.
for talking with us tonight, guys. See their shows, which are both happening here in Gluttony.
Yeah, we're in Gluttony at Funny Pork. 7 o'clock for Kiruna, 10 o'clock for me, and on Sunday 6 o'clock for me and 7 o'clock for her.
Yeah, look.